Okay, this is it. This is the end here. Now, a couple things that happened a little bit differently here. Um, this item here, we ended up with a negative inside of our radical sign, which we haven't worked with yet. So if you knew to do this, then this is what the answer, the solution should be. These should be your intercepts. If not, you could have just had this as a negative square root of negative 7/3 and a positive square root of negative 7/3. Okay. This one is pretty straightforward. The one thing that I do want to point out here is that we had 2 of the same x value. That just means that you just have one intercept, which actually what that tells you is, if we think about our graph, if we have one intercept at 5, 0, the only way that can happen with a quadratic is if that point is your vertex. Okay, so this one actually, the x-intercept that it gave us was our vertex. Okay, over here we had a bit of work to do. These ones we had to get everything on one side first, and when we did that, you could see that we had these like terms that we needed to combine before we solved it. Okay, then use the AC method in order to find those solutions. Okay, this one also may have had you wondering a little bit what to do. Now we had this 40 over here, so in order to get this as a piece of what we have going on here, we had to first multiply these two binomials out and then subtract 40. Now what we have is this equation right here, and you can factor and find your intercepts, which are these here. Okay. Now, I left this one for us to do together, okay? This item here had some fractions, so we know that the first thing that we want to do is multiply by a common multiple in order to simplify or cancel out each of our fractions. Once you did that, you just had to get everything onto the same side, okay? And then just solve like before, and we have these two solutions, which gave us these two intercepts here. Okay. Finally, down here, we factored out a greatest common factor of 2x. Now, like I said before, when we looked at, let's see, where was it? Oh, when we looked at this item right here, if you factor something out, you still have to set that piece also equal to 0. Okay. In this case, when we set that 2x equal to 0, we have 2x equals 0. We divide by 2, we have x equals 0. We also have x equals 7 and x equals -3. So what you have is you have 3 solutions or 3 intercepts, which again makes sense because I have a polynomial to the 3rd degree. And what we said is if we have a polynomial to the 3rd degree, we have 1, 2, 3 directions, 2 turns, which can mean 1, 2, 3 intercepts. Okay, so let's go over here. Fractions, yay! Fractions are fun. And it's Friday, so happy Fraction Friday. Okay, couple things here. First of all, I noticed that there's a 3 denominator on both of those. The first thing that I want to do is multiply everything through by 3. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to do because automatically I'll simplify there, I'll simplify there. So now here I have negative c squared plus c plus, well, 3 times 10, 30, equals 3 times 6, 18. Okay, now I'm going to get everything to one side. Okay, now I have negative c squared plus c plus 12 equals 0. Okay, we said that we want this always to be positive, so I'm going to factor out a -1. So I have c squared minus c minus 12 equals 0. Okay, I'm going to move up here. So I have my -1. I want to factor this here. This c is negative, so I know I'm going to have c plus and c minus. I have a product of 12, and I need a difference of 1. So obviously it's 3 times 4. I want a -1, so I have positive 3 and a -4, which will give me that -1 there. Okay. Now I set these equal to 0. -1 equals 0. C plus 3 equals 0. C minus 4 equals 0. This is not a true statement. It does not yield a C value or a C intercept. These ones do. C equals -3. Add 4 across. C equals 4. So we have an intercept of -3, 0, and 4, 0. Okay. All right, that's that. This one you can solve using grouping. Just do it the same way that you did the ones before, okay? Actually, let me do that real quick. Hold on a second. Squared. You can follow along if you'd like. X squared minus 4. Oh yeah, this was a good one actually. Because we can see here x squared minus 4 that we can x plus, whoops, not 4, x plus 2, x minus 2, x minus 5 equals 0. Okay, so if I'm looking at this, I'm going to have x is going to equal -2, +2, and +5, which gives me x-intercepts of -2, 0, 2, 0, and 5, 0. Those are my intercepts. Okay, well, that's it for today. Sorry, in between I put my mask back on, so I got it for free today at the conference, and it matches my pumpkin costume. So, whoops. So actually I wore this evening for the pumpkin costume contest. And that's that. So, factoring is related to our intercepts because it gives us those solutions for x where y is equal to 0. So that's what we have to remember when we're factoring. What we're looking for are those solutions, are those intercepts. Okay? Alrighty, well, that is it for the week. Please make sure you keep up on your homework, and I will see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye.